Hello, this is William from Visual Components. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a 3D PDF template for recording simulations in the 3D world. For example, open a layout, go to the Simulation Controls, click Export to PDF, and in the Export to PDF task pane, notice a property here called Templates. So this will list the available templates you can use to record a simulation and export it to a 3D PDF file. So by default, you should have this template here called Visual Components. And if you were to record the simulation, your 3D PDF should look something like this. This is the default layout. Notice that you have the title of the 3D PDF, some simulation controls for resetting, starting, and stopping the simulation, some view commands so you can fill your view or use one of these standard views here. Your simulation is contained in a 3D window. You might have these boxes here, so this will list the components in the layout by name and also their descriptions. So if I select Articulated Robot, I get a description here. Now, all these items that I just explained are form fields, and that's what a 3D PDF template is. It's just a PDF that has form fields. So if I click this button here to prepare the form, you can see here are the fields, and notice they follow a naming convention. So model name is where the 3D PDF title is inserted. 3D window is where your simulation is. And notice these left, front, right, these are referring to standard views. The fill command, your reset, and play and stop button for the simulation. Now these two items over here, this is using the bill of material properties of a component. So notice not all the components are listed here, so just the conveyor and the articulated robot. So if I go back to my 4.0 product and select the machine and go to the component properties panel, you can see that its BOM property is turned off, so it's not being exported. Its data is not being exported to the 3D PDF. So notice this BOM name and BOM description. But if I select the robot, you can see that its BOM property is selected, and this is the name and description shown in the 3D PDF. We can go back to it and you can see, yep, there it is. Now if you want to create your own 3D PDF template, it's very easy to do. You can start from scratch using PowerPoint or Microsoft Word, or you can use an existing template available. And let's do that now. Let's go ahead and close out Adobe Acrobat. And now let's go to where all your templates are stored for the Visual Components products. So let's go to your program files, your C drive, Visual Components, and I'm using Visual Components Premium, but you might have a different product name here. But it's the same folder you're looking for. It's called PDF Templates. So if you open that up, you can see, yep, there is the default template you have to use for recording simulations. Now notice it has a naming convention as well. It has a prefix called VC default underscore, and whenever you add a new template, it has to follow that naming convention. So it's the prefix followed by the template name. Let's open this up, and now it's a form, so let's actually prepare the form. And you can see, yep, whenever you're creating a new template, just use these names. Now this is a form, so you can add more items if you want, but notice those won't be auto-populated, only these fields will. Let's actually insert a new button. And let's actually put it over the logo. So I'll just create that form field here. Give it a name called Logo Link. Go to its properties. Change its appearance. So let's get rid of that background color. Close it out. So notice I can see the logo underneath in that original template I made. And some of these form fields also don't have a background. So this is using an icon that was created using Microsoft PowerPoint or Microsoft Word. And now we want our logo link to do something, so let's actually go back to its properties and give it an action. In this case, we want to open a web link. Let's add that, and let's go to visualcomponents.com. It's a great website. Click OK, close this out, and now I need to save this as a new template. So go to the File menu, click Save As, and I'm not running Adobe Acrobat Pro as an administrator, so I can't save to the C drive right now, so I'll save to the desktop. And remember, we need to use that prefix of VC default underscore, and I'll call it example 001. Save that, exit Adobe Acrobat, and now I need to put the template in this folder here in my program files. So I'll go to my desktop and drag in the template and click continue. And now if I restart my Visual Components product, I should have this template available for when I go to record the simulation. So let's exit out of this. Back to our 4.0 product, and let's restart. Okay, the application has been restarted, so let's actually load just any layout you want. I'm going to use that original layout I was using. at the start of the video. There we go. I'll now go to the simulation controls, click Export to PDF, and now notice in the Export to PDF task pane, this templates property is now listed in that template I just created called example001. So let's give this a title called my first template example. And because we made our PDF using those form fields, this title will be auto-populated in the form field called model name. So let's start recording and save our PDF. So I'll just call it example 001. Simulation is started, and we'll just speed it up. Wait till the robot picks apart and puts it in the machine. There we go. And I'll now stop the simulation to save my work, and Adobe Acrobat should open that new PDF, and there we go. And now if I hover over this icon, you can see the cursor changes, so if I click it, notice this takes me to visualcomponents.com. Great. Let's close this out. And if you don't see any content here and you have some type of security warning about the 3D or multimedia content, what you can do, go to the Edit menu, and then click Preferences. And you want to click this tab here called 3D and Multimedia, and select this checkbox here called Enable Playing of 3D Content, and that security message will go away. Just make sure you click OK to save the change. Alright, let's go ahead and stop the simulation here. And this time, instead of using an existing template, let's just create one from scratch using Microsoft PowerPoint. So I will exit out of Adobe Acrobat, exit out of the 4.0 product, and don't save. Let's now open open PowerPoint. And if you don't have PowerPoint, you can use Microsoft Word. And let's create a blank layout. And then just give some idea or some wireframe of where we can insert those form fields for our template. So what we first want to do is probably change the size. So let's click Design and go to Custom Slide Size. And in this case, I know my template is used for printing or just sharing on an A4 paper size, so I'll use A4 paper there. Click OK and maximize. Let's now insert some elements. So I'll use shapes to represent those fields. So let's use a rectangle. This will be for my 3D window. So make it look like that. That's fine. Let's now insert some icons for resetting the simulation and starting or stopping it. So I'll go back to my Insert Shapes. Let's use some action buttons. So I'll use this action button end right here. Or actually, is there a play one? I think this is play. Forward or next. Let's just use these two. And there we go. Cancel that out. And let's actually copy this. So I'll just hold in the Control key and drag the item to create a new one. And let's actually edit the shape. Then change it to be that reset. There we go. And let's also create, I think this is fine actually. Let's just select all three items and change their fill. So I actually will add no fill and make their outline be black. Let's now save our work. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this as a PDF file. So you can either click the Acrobat tab here and create the new PDF, or go backstage by clicking the File menu and then click Export and then create Adobe PDF. And I first need to probably save my PowerPoint presentation, and I do, so I'll just call it example. And then for my PDF file, let's save that on the desktop. And I will call this, remember that prefix of VC default _. So remember this when you're creating the PDF file. Let's now call this example 002 and save that. And it opens automatically up in Adobe Acrobat Pro. Now, if you're not using Adobe Acrobat Pro, you can use a similar software, but you do need to be able to create those form fields using those names. So let's now click this button here to prepare the form. And I'll use that PDF I just created in PowerPoint. So let's start. And let's create some buttons. So I'll click OK. And then insert a button here. And you need to use that naming convention for those fields. So this will be my reset button for the simulation. And then let's create another button here for playing or stopping the simulation. So that will be the field name. Play, stop. And this will be my 3D window. So let's insert another button there. And give it the right name. So 3D window. And let's actually select all of those items. Right click, click properties, and we'll change their appearance to have no fill but color. There we go. So notice we can now just see the icons here when we click those buttons. Let's now create some text boxes for a component list and component description. So I'll click here. And let's create a components list here. So that will be the field name of component list. And let's create another one for component description. There we go. Okay, let's now save our work. So let's save the PDF, and I'll save it to my desktop first. And it's going to be the same file, so I'll replace it. And let's now put this template in our program file so we can use it with the 4.0 product. So I will exit out of this, exit out of PowerPoint. Here's the template, so let's go back to our program files. Visual Components. I'm using Premium, but it's that same folder called PDF Templates. So just put the file there. And now let's restart our 4.0 product and see if we can use that example 002 template. Okay, the application has been restarted, so I'll use that layout I've been using all along in this video, but you can use whatever layout you want to. Let's now click Export to PDF, and oh yeah, you can see here in Export to PDF task pane, the templates property is showing that first template I made and that second one called example 002. Let's give it a title. So my second template, start recording, save it. So I'll just save it as example 002. And here comes those parts. So let's speed up our simulation. And the robot's just waiting. And let's stop and save our work. After the robot picks that part and places it, there we go. And the new PDF should open in Adobe Acrobat. And yep, you can see here's the 3D window. I can move it around like so. Oh, so far so good. Let's reset. That works. Let's start the simulation. So far so good. And you might have noticed a little jump there. That's because I was speeding up the simulation a bit too fast, but I can stop it and also play it. Let's reset. And in our fields here, we don't notice anything, so we probably made a mistake. So let's go back to our template. I'll just use the File menu here and open it up. And let's go back to our Visual Components program files, the PDF Templates folder, and go to our original template here. Open it up, and let's actually take a look at this form. And we can see that this is actually a drop-down menu. So I apologize before. You actually need to make sure you're using the right field. So that component description is using that text box, but the component list is using a different form icon. So let's go back to our original template and exit out of that recorded simulation and open our example 002. And I'm going to leave this error in the video in case you need to troubleshoot your 3D PDF template. So let's open this up. And this was for our components list, so let's actually get rid of this form field. So let's prepare it, delete it, and then I believe it's this one right here. Yep, so a list. So let's insert it right here and give it that field name of component list. And that should be fine. Let's now save it. And once again, we are saving to the C drive, so I'm actually going to save this to my desktop again. Close that out. Go back to my program files. Visual Components. PDF Templates. And now let's actually close out our 4.0 product because we need to restart it to use the updated version. And let's drag in that updated version. There we go. So move and replace. Continue. And if you don't want this to happen, what you can do, you can just right-click your Adobe Acrobat DC and run it as an administrator. So that way you can just save directly to the C drive. Let's now restart our 4.0 product. Okay, the application has been restarted, so I'll go back to my Models folder, drag in that layout. And let's go ahead and record the simulation. And we're still using that example 002 template. So I'll start recording. I will call it example 002. And overwrite that file I made earlier. And this time I won't speed up the simulation too fast, I'll just let it run normally. And just wait till the robot picks the part and puts it in the machine, and then I'll stop it. There we go. So I'll stop and save. And let's see that new template. And yeah, there we go. So now notice it's listing the components. And if I click them, you can see them filled my view here in the 3D window. And here's the description. So of course you probably will need to troubleshoot this a bit if you're going to description list to be a bit more helpful. But hopefully you get the idea of what you need to do. So 9 out of 10 times whenever you come across an error, you probably need to check the form fields. So you can check here quickly. But okay, this concludes the video. If you have any more questions, please feel free to visit our forum at forum.visualcomponents.com. And as always, have a wonderful day.